Warning, this web TV show has been created by a radical warrior man for modern radical warrior men. If you are not a warrior male who is ready to be liberated, are easily offended, or generally just a pussy, save yourself now and stop this life-liberating video immediately. Although created for warrior men, warrior women are always welcome.
Hey everybody, this is Garrett J. White, the Master Coach, Mentor, and creator of the Warrior 90-Day Challenge, where I train today's modern male warrior entrepreneurs on the art and science of having it all. Check it out at wakeupwarrior.com. In today's episode, we're going to have three powerful conversations. Conversation number one is how living is selling, so get over it. Conversation number two is to understand what you're really actually selling. And conversation number three is how do you go about selling to a marketplace and to a world that is horrifically overwhelmed. Welcome to episode number 5. Let's get started now. All right now. Conversation number one, living is selling. Now, I don't know where you come from. I don't know what kind of planet you operate on. I don't know what kind of experience you have in business. I don't know what kind of experience you have in life. But the one thing that I do know is you are a human being. That means that you are in the game called life. And the game called life is all about persuasion. It's all about power. And it's all about producing the results that ultimately you want and those around you want. Now, I've been in the world of business for over 12 years, meaning operating full-time, producing my own way as an entrepreneur. And in that game, I've come to find that living itself is not just about experiencing, it's about persuasion and influence. I'll give you a simple example. Recently, I lost my wallet on a trip to San Diego, California. Upon losing my wallet, I lost my ID, my credit cards, my debit cards, etc. And I had to travel from San Diego, California to Salt Lake City, Utah to my video production studio, and then from Salt Lake City, Utah to Phoenix, Arizona, where I ultimately live. Now, this produced a big problem because I not only didn't have any identification, I didn't have any credit cards, and I didn't have any cash. And yet, in a very short order of roughly 2 hours, I was able to convince Chase Bank to give me $500. I was able to convince Delta Airlines to let me on the flight. And I was able to convince TSA to allow me through security and onto the plane. All the while with no picture ID, no notification, no cash, no way. Now this itself was about selling. Now, was I really in the game of selling myself? Absolutely. And was I selling an opportunity? Absolutely. So when I hear people tell me, listen, I'm not in sales. I don't believe in sales. I don't want to be a dirty salesperson. I say, wake the hell up. Welcome to life. Life is about selling. And the keys to success in life and in sales and business are the same. But underneath all of this, I can tell you, your dating life, your married life, dealing with your children. I don't know if you have young kids. I got a 6 and a 2-year-old, and I'm going to tell you right now, everything is about selling, and those children are constantly selling me. So why don't we both just agree right now that unless you are getting good at selling, you must be sucking at selling. And if you're sucking at selling, then your capacity to produce the results that you want in your life are going to be gone. Conversation number 2. See, the question I want to ask you is, what are you ever really selling? See, you might have a nice product or a program or a service that you offer as an entrepreneur to the marketplace. You might have some fantastic marketing and sales systems online that produce a whole bunch of leads coming in to work with you. You might be a coach or an offline brick and mortar entrepreneur who's looking to produce results in other people's lives by inserting your product and program and service into their lives. But see, what we tend to forget and what we as warriors tend to omit from the game called sales and called life is this. At the end of the day, I am buying you. At the end of the day, you are buying me. At the end of the day, we can get rid of all of the tools and all of the information and get rid of all of the stuff in front of us. And I can tell you right now that there's really only one basic thing happening. There is an individual who you are engaging with, and this person either believes you and buys you or they don't. Now, at the same time, we're going to be leveraging our skills. So yes, you might be selling your skill set to another person. You might be an information marketer, and so in that, you're selling your information to another person that is ultimately helping them go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, helping them get what they want. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have you consider one powerful possibility, and that is that you must be out in front of your product. You must be out in front of your programs. You must be out in front of your services and ultimately the movement you're leading. See, faceless movements and products and programs that are not linked to you as a warrior don't sell as well. And in a marketplace that's horrifically overwhelmed, they are looking for someone to believe in. So at the end of the day, what you're selling in exchange with another person is who you are being. So my question for you is, how are you being? Yeah, you can become really smart and know a shitload about a lot of stuff and have lots of information rattle around in your brain. But you realize that more often than not, what we are buying in the marketplace today is a sense of certainty. Now that certainty itself can only come from you, and it can only come through you, and it engulfs your copy in your text-based copy, your audio-based copy, your video-based copy. It ultimately becomes the message that flows through you to the marketplace. So how are you doing in that area? How are you coming along when it comes to your being? And ultimately, if I were to interview the people around you right now and ask them what they've been buying from you, would you be cool with what they say? So in the end here, in this conversation number 2, remember simply this. You are always pitching the power of your being. Your doing and having are a result of who you choose to be. All right now, conversation number 3. Selling to a marketplace that is horrifically overwhelmed. Now, I want you to imagine there was a time in the marketplace and a time in the world when you and I could not get our hands on information. Most of what was available to the marketplace was taught from father to son, mother to daughter, mother to son, father to daughter, through a verbal translation. We shared concepts spiritually, financially, socially, through storytelling one to another. And yet nowadays there's more information uploaded to the internet in just a couple weeks than most people had available to themselves their entire lifetime. Lifetime, my friends. And by the way, I'm only talking about what's uploaded to Facebook. Now, on top of this then, as people have begun to consume more and more and more and more information, I've decided that information has become the new cocaine. It's become the new way to get high. See, I'm an information marketer also, and an online marketer, an offline marketer, and I do all these things to promote my Warrior 90-Day Challenge and other amazing programs and products and services that I'm up to. But the one thing I can tell you is simply this. You and I are overwhelmed. We're buying a shitload of information that we don't already process, and we don't even know what to do. I mean, most of the stuff that you buy in ebooks and audio programs and webinars and teleseminars and all of this, it's overwhelming. I sat with a friend of mine recently, and she's got some powerful stuff going on in her business, multi-million-dollar producer every single year. And yet her results she's seeing are the same results I'm seeing, which is people's consumption of information is going down because they're confused and they're absolutely unclear of where to go next. That unclarity has led to chaos. And in the middle of that chaos is where you come in. See, selling to the overwhelmed in the marketplace today comes down to 2 fundamental ideas. Number 1, how can you simplify what you do? How can you get them to the results they're wanting without taking them through some complex maze? What is the shortest path to success? Second thing is to clarify. The only way that we can clarify is for you to jump in the pit with your people and to say, hey, listen, I know where you are. Follow me. I've got a light and I can bring us out of this darkness. This clarification and simplification comes down, though, to the second point we made in today's episode, which was this. How are you doing at selling you? See, ultimately the reason people don't buy from you is because they don't believe you. Ultimately the reason people don't buy from you is because they don't trust you. Ultimately because the reason people don't buy from you is because they don't believe that they can ultimately accomplish the things they want by hanging out with you. So here's what I'm going to have you consider. That as you bring back your power and you bring it down to a stillness inside of you, you understand that the map that you've been given of your life is perfect. I am so sick and tired of hearing about a marketplace that says you have to be this particular way. It says you got to fit in this particular box, that this is how life is. This is bullshit. Not one person on this planet can tell you how life is supposed to be for you. All input of information into your life, warrior, is nothing more than that. Information and feedback. At the end of the day, you must be willing to go deep inside your own soul, to be able to listen to the whisper and to listen to the voice of revelation in your life calling you to action, calling you, warrior, to do the things that would ultimately give you what you want. See, I realize it's not easy. I realize it's not easy inside of us that to take on that journey, to take on that calling. And for that reason, I built a free video series at wakeupwarrior.com just for you, to guide you and to walk you through 4 free video trainings where for 30 minutes per video, I teach you and guide you and walk beside you through a conversation of how to unleash this full beingness within you, how to unleash the full power of who you are as a warrior in today's marketplace, and how to apply it to all areas of your life and have it all. Okay, so as we wrap up here with episode number 5, I want to thank you for being here. And again, if you're ready to take your life on as a warrior and to go deeper down the conversation of getting paid to live the game of having it all, everything in your body, everything in your balance, in your relationship, everything in your beingness, your connection with God and source, and everything in your business when it comes to your bank account, check it out at wakeupwarrior.com today. For the rest of you who got value from today's message, and like every single message, go ahead and share it up with your friends. You know what to do. Share this video up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+. Bing! Until next week, remember that power in today's marketplace comes down to the simple formula of authenticity. Be real, get raw, stay relevant today.
Aw, yeah. You know what to do now. Go check it out at wakeupwarrior.com for more free video training now.